All right, and welcome to Fast Break Breakfast NBA Podcast. My name is Keith Parrish, and I'm here once again with my buddy through the miracle of computer phone. I'm here with Dave DeFord. Dave, it's like my favorite week of the year, maybe. I don't know. I love draft and transaction season.
My least favorite week.
It's your least favorite week. Can I just say the first round of the draft was a pretty big disappointment in the fact that no NBA players got traded.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was very strange. And then the second round of the draft, Isaiah Stewart got traded. I think.
Yeah.
Did anybody else get traded that night? But I guess does overnight count?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was after the draft, so no,
yeah.
There were no players.
Although the ShamWow did not drop for the LaMelo Ball trade until Thursday morning, even though it was sort of getting out before I went to bed on Wednesday night. Yeah. That, like, for real, the Timberwolves are gonna maybe acquire LaMelo Ball. So there is so much.
I recorded a late pod.
Yeah.
And, the rumors had just really started firing, and to the point where we had to talk about it. And, in the pod, I'm like, hey, as long as he doesn't get traded before 6 a.m. Eastern, you'll hear this podcast. And I went to bed at midnight Pacific.
Yeah.
It's kind of part of it. And I missed the emergency pod because I was still asleep. My phone, doesn't go into my bedroom. It was off anyway, like silent. And then I checked my phone around 9 a.m. I was like, oh, hey, LaMelo. How about that?
So on this episode, which actually has to be a little bit shorter, unfortunately, got some other stuff going on in my life. And this episode, we got to talk about the NBA draft. We have to talk about the Giannis trade.
Yeah.
Finally occurring. We have to talk about, maybe the Mavericks' new coach and then drafting a Michigan guy, sort of interesting. We have to talk about Julius Randle maybe getting salary dumped, then the LaMelo trade, and then the biggest story of all that, I just mean actually physically largest, the Trae Young contract. It's enormous.
What a deal. What a deal.
Spin the wheel, Dave. What's the forefront of your mind? Where should we start?
I don't know, man. I don't know. You tell me. Is the LaMelo trade more interesting than the Giannis trade?
It feels like a breaking news with the LaMelo trade. It's more shocking. It's more surprising. My impression is from the people that I am somewhat acquainted with in the fan bases of each team involved. Mm-hmm. This is Timberwolves people and Hornets people. Everyone's kind of sad. Like the Hornets people I know are upset. And my reaction to this LaMelo trade for the Hornets, I have never been more dunked on brain. I feel like this is a perfect trade.
Oh man, I can't wait till we talk Giannis.
Well, so the LaMelo trade, this is to me, and it's because I live in a world where I only think about myself and the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
This is the Hornets seeing Trae Young's trade value, seeing the reaction to the Trae Young contract, seeing that Ja Morant is a pariah with no home and the Grizzlies cannot get rid of him. And the Hornets said, okay, we just pulled off a great year, an awesome year. We can sell high on LaMelo. And those guys were very clearly all packaged together. There was that ESPN story during last year. It was very obvious to see the parallels between Ja Morant, Trae Young, and LaMelo Ball. Trae Young was swapped for even salary because the Hawks are like, we can't pay this guy. The Grizzlies are like, we can't give Ja Morant an extension. That'd be insane. Like, he doesn't even play hard or well, that well anymore. And the Hornets said, we have the opportunity to avoid this fate. And yes, they are better when LaMelo Ball plays. Yes, he's an incredible creator for them, but they flat out said there's 2 years left and a max deal. Are we paying him his next deal? Do we want to pay him his next deal? Let's get out from under this. Let's pivot. And it feels like the absolute right thing to do Pay Kobe White a lot less money. You got so lucky with Con Knipple and Brandon Miller in back-to-back drafts. Let's just build around this.
Right.
And invest our money. We can't put all our money in what might be our third most important player going forward. So maybe I'm just dunked on Brain, but for me, I'm like, I understand it's painful, Hornets fans, but this seems like the correct thing. And also, I know it was so fun last year, but it'll stop being fun. It will. I think that they looked at it and said, "Listen, it's going to stop being fun, and we're going to be stuck holding the bag. Let's get rid of it before it goes sour."
That's the smartest move, is to not fall in love with the little bit of success that you got, and to stick to a team building vision that actually makes some sense. Sacramento didn't do that, right? Like, they had the beam team, and then they're like, you know what? Let's lock this down.
Yeah,
I know we barely made it, and we lost in the first round, but let's lock this in. And I think that that's the right move. They're not good enough, right? LaMelo's not good enough for where he is in his career. I mean, if LaMelo was this clear cut, this is a top 20 player in the NBA, this trade doesn't happen, because that's the kind of guy that you hope you draft, and that you add guys like Con Knipple and Brandon Miller to. So yeah, I get it though, because LaMelo's one of my favorite guys to watch. He's gonna do something wild every game that other players just have never even thought of, and now he's gonna do that. Like, he's gonna be throwing passes that Rudy Gobert has never heard of.
All right, the big winner of this trade is Rudy Gobert, right?
Oh yeah,
someone's gonna finally throw him the ball. Besides Kyle Anderson, he's gonna receive some alley-oops. I mean, for the Timberwolves, I do not love it.
No.
It's very risky. I do like the idea of putting an elite playmaker besides Ant. Having Ant where he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands and create everything. That part feels perfect. Mm-hmm. But this is a team that, all right, the Timberwolves salary dumped Julius Randle as not just a addition by subtraction. I think they knew in their minds they were going to probably be making this move. And all of this is so hard when we review these moves, because we're seeing the tiny little pieces of the thing. A lot of times we don't see the whole big picture. But moving on from Julius Randle, okay, wasn't great for the locker room, supposedly. Obviously had big playoff flaws that have come up a couple times. But moving him and Naz Reid, like the Timberwolves fans are sad about Naz Reid.
Yeah.
Naz Reid was a lifestyle. It was a religion. You have Naz Reid tattoos all over Minnesota and throughout that fan base. So maybe
they could get Naz Reid back. Could they do
Mike Conley style?
Conley, right?
Yeah. Trade Naz Reid to the Grizzlies, maybe. The Grizzlies could buy him out. No, he's a little too expensive for that. No.
Yeah. He's also too good.
He's too good. I like everything the Hornets did. I feel bad for the Hornets fans who loved the style of play, who loved the swag that LaMelo Ball had.
And he's crazy in a fun way, but I do think they can still play that up tempo style. I think Kobe White, is probably going to wind up be in the starter, and so he wants to play fast. He can really, really shoot. He can get off the ball a little bit more than LaMelo can, and I think Naz Reid's going to be really good in what they do. He gives them some size that they were missing. Probably allows them to finally figure out a way to dump Miles Bridges somewhere.
I mean, that would make them more likable as a team.
Right.
But you have a lot going on with that Hornets team. They had
a decent draft. It seems
the center they drafted seems like it'll be fun, but also now that you pair him with Naz Reid, also
you got Kalkbrenner, you got Moussa Diabate. They've got some guys.
Now they actually have some bigs.
Right.
It seems like they got a lot of good options there. The Timberwolves angle of this, at the very least, so going into next year, so you're missing DiVincenzo for maybe the whole season. I guess they might trade him too. Yes. I'm kind of surprised he wasn't involved in some of these big deals. But like Ant plus LaMelo plus Jaden McDaniels plus Gobert. Oh, and Ayo Dosunmu. The big Ayo Dosunmu contract was signed after they salary dumped Julius Randle.
And they may start all those guys. They may start Ayo, LaMelo, and Ant. I mean, obviously they're going to start LaMelo and Ant, but Io may be the third guy in that trio and might start. I mean, they're going to have to play fast, and then you think about Rudy Gobert and like how much can he run up and down the court.
I also wonder about Rudy Gobert and any fall off. I know he had, it felt like kind of a bounce back season for Gobert last year.
Well, he was really
solid
stuff, right? Like he had been doing international stuff almost every summer and then didn't last year, right?
Oh, so this is
good.
This is the reverse of the World Cup, where a lot of the guys are jogging through the MLS.
Yeah.
Like James Rodriguez and Lionel Messi in the World Cup look even better. It's like, well, yeah, they've been coasting during the MLS games, so they'd be fresh for the World Cup. And maybe you have a good point there. But also the Timberwolves are going to run into the same thing where what do you pay the next contract of LaMelo Ball? Because you get 2 years. It's the same.
Right.
It's the same situation. This is what the NBA is now.
Could be a self-selecting problem though, because do you get 2 more years of Anthony Edwards if this thing doesn't go well next year?
Well, I mean, there is part of it where you're like, LaMelo, I'm sure viewed himself as the best player on the Hornets. I don't know if this is like a thing that just podcasters invent, but the idea of like LaMelo going to a team where clearly he's not the alpha, where you go to a team where you're like, this was like the whole fantasy of Grizzlies people being like, what if Ja Morant played with Anthony Edwards? And Ja would be like, wow, that guy's better than me. Yeah. You assume he would think that. I mean, who knows? Right. But like, so I don't know. But I'm saying like the NBA, though, it's always been sort of like this, but it's never been more like this, where now every team is, do you have 2 years left on your deal? Or are we going to pay you an extension? Is it going to be the Supermax? If not, we're probably going to move on from you. Like we have to pivot. You can't get stuck without a clear plan and knowing you want to pay the guy's next contract. And so thus you have these kind of, not wild moves, but they're big moves. They're seismic moves.
Right.
Among these teams. And of course the Timberwolves have had so much success. I was initially worried when they salary dumped Julius Randle that this was like a ownership group that wasn't prepared to pay for a contender.
Yeah.
Because I'd been so pleased and happy for Timberwolves fans how they'd broken through. They gotten past the first round 3 straight times, which is a huge feat in the Western Conference. And being back-to-back Western Conference finalists, I was worried. They were like, well, this is just too expensive. And so we can't. But now maybe not. Maybe they'll keep spending money. We'll see how LaMelo and Ant and Jaden, how it all works together.
I wonder if some of the public backlash from just doing a salary dump right after you made the Cat trade, right? Like not that long ago.
Well, yeah, and the Cat trade worked out for a championship for the other team.
And you wind up with the 33rd pick in the draft, right? Like out of Karl Anthony Towns. I wonder if that played into it.
The CBA basically forces teams that have salary concerns to trade out of into the first round to get in the top of the second round.
Yeah.
Like it's again, everything you incentivize is why tanking is a thing. It's like, but I'm loving this pattern of every team trading when they trade under 33, they were like, Isaiah Evans is who we were going to take at 27, or whoever it is. Who do they know? The Nuggets got Trayvon Brazil. That's who we were going to take at 26.
If we had the number 1 pick,
that's right.
He was number 1.
Who was it? Oh man, it was the Warriors who we saw during the draft. Joe Lacob being mad at Mike Dunleavy in the draft, or Dunleavy Jr. in the draft room.
Yeah.
I saw it today, man. They had Boozer number 1, and then Lindelberg was up there as like in the next tier. And it's like, you had Yaxel 2 on your board? That's awesome, man.
Yaxel feeling like Cam Johnson?
In what sense?
Just like, this guy can go rent a car.
Oh, he's older.
He's older. Yeah. It seems like he's going to fit.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know, man. Warriors, come on. Not a serious team.
The Trae Young thing was so bizarre. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Like there must have been a market, is all I can think.
No chance.
So because we had heard, no, for real, like when the trade happened, we had heard that like, okay, 3 years, maybe he opts in and then 2 more, right?
Yeah, everyone was thinking he's opting out of 49 or something, and maybe he'll sign 3-year 140 or something. And you're like, that's fine, and you get it descending.
Mm-hmm.
There is even Dave. All right, so walk me through this. Even if there's a market,
right?
I would say you think about it like I was thinking maybe the Bulls. I could imagine the Bulls being like, let's just go get Trae Young to feed Buzelis and Caleb Wilson. He could play with Giddey. That's fine. But yeah, even if there's a market, I would say walk me through it.
It must have been Chicago or Brooklyn. And I don't understand Washington not letting him walk unless you think he's going to have trade value, but I don't see that unless they just think, you know what, guys? I think we can make the playoffs, not the play in. Because, all right, they signed Trae. That's when I had heard that they were taking DeBonsa first, but I said, okay, well, that deal makes so much sense if you decided that you're not going to take Darren Peterson, right? DeBonsa is probably better if you have a guy like Trae Young that can have the ball in his hands so much so that DeBonsa can kind of come along a little slower, whatever you want to say. But it seems like they're trying to compete this year, like legitimately, like they want to make the playoffs. And I think Trae Young gives them a chance to do it. I mean, replacing him, not necessarily the easiest thing. I think this contract is awful. I think it's a terrible deal.
I feel like
he's got a player option.
The player option is unforgivable.
Having a great agent,
having the contract not descend, the fact that it's going up and it's a player option at the end that's unforgivable. And this is it's like they changed over the front office and everyone was like, oh, the Wizards are finally doing it the right way. They're not like they got this gift by getting off of Bradley Beal's money. They got a gift. It was handed to them. Just like this grace. Just that they got out of jail for free. It was like you got off Bradley Beal and they're like, all right, we're going to tear it down to the studs. And I kept making fun of them talking about how like the teardown's not over yet. And they finally last year were like, the teardown is complete. And that was like 5 months ago or maybe less. And they weren't kidding. And they went back to their old ways. Even when they traded for Trae Young and Anthony Davis, we were like, oh, this is like a counter revolution. This is a zag where everyone's thinking, no, you don't do this. But they're like, hey, listen, all of our guys are cheap. We're actually going to bring in some good veterans and be competitive. And we're like, oh, fine. It doesn't actually hurt you. You don't need that money yet. We're going to get a free look. If Trae opts out, who cares? If he opts in, we're going to use him to set up our young players. And you're like, fine. And then at the very least, maybe they'll work out a team-friendly extension for Trae. And then no. The biggest, like it wasn't the biggest contract they could have paid him, but it was the most any other team could have paid him. And it absolutely is going to be a horrible contract.
Oh, yeah.
In a couple of years. And like that. And the fact they announced it the day before the first pick, the day before they're going to have AJ DeBanza, it feels like to me, none of these people, like I've lost all confidence in that front office. Like, do you not get the PR vibes of this?
Well, see, it feels like ownership. It feels like ownership. Again, this story, like you're talking about Joe Lacob being in the draft room saying, we got to take this guy. Come on, man. Who do you think's telling that story? Right? The Milwaukee Bucks, they love their haul. They love the haul that they got for Giannis. They definitely did not want Jaylen Brown, good player. The owners didn't. No, all along, they wanted this package of couple picks and young players from Miami.
Let's talk about the Giannis trade. We're going to do that right after this short break. All right, Dave, the Giannis trade finally went down. It was, in fact, the Miami Heat who got their guy. What do you think about the return? What do you think about the price the Heat paid and how good they can be?
That's the issue.
Yeah.
Right. I think Milwaukee, it's fine. Whatever. I don't know what draft picks are worth right now. The further out, the better, because we're probably going to get different draft reform. I like Jokashonis. I think he's a good player. I think he's going to get a chance to like just have the ball in his hands a lot. They probably are flipping hero. Like I think Detroit is probably going to hop in on this trade and try to get Tyler Hero because they missed out on Austin Reeves. I mean, I thought Isaiah Stewart was going to wind up going to like the Lakers or something, but now that's not happening because of Memphis. I just don't know how you take a team that was the 10 seed last year, right? get rid of half your useful players. And now you're pairing up Giannis, who is still a top 5 player until I see different, with Bam Adebayo, who can't shoot, can't dribble, can't do like any of the things that you need to have a functional offense. So you're going to lose Norm Powell. They're going to have to hope that Wiggins will take a pay cut. And is Davion Mitchell a good enough point guard offensively that he can help carry some of the creation load for Giannis? I don't know. All of this for a guy who feels like he's not very healthy anymore. I think that's a gamble.
I think the Giannis health angle hasn't been mentioned enough. I feel like in the coverage of this, I'm not too worried about a lot of the players included. Obviously, Hero was coming up to a payday, and they're like, all right, we can't do that. Khalil Ware had never been a favorite of Spoelstra, and that relationship just was not in a good spot. So they don't really care. Jaime Jaquez had such a bounce back year last year. And even with that, I wonder is he going to, when removed from the warm glow of that Heat culture, is this going to be a Josh Richardson on the Sixers, a Justice Winslow on the Grizzlies? Like all of a sudden you're like, this guy he's not that good. So I don't think they lost that much, but the big losses are the ones you alluded to. If they lose Norm Powell, and if Wiggins doesn't do his if he doesn't pick up his player option, if he goes anywhere else, if you lose all those guys, then that roster, it's okay. I mean, I do think they're going to get like
they're not done.
They're going to lose some of the ancient veterans. They're going to pick up some of the ancient veterans who are available. Like Chris Middleton, I assume will go for the minimum. That'll soak up some minutes during the regular season. So like guys will go there to play. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, like looking around just the league landscape of the league. Like I wouldn't be surprised if like Klay Thompson doesn't finish the year on the Mavericks / gets bought out somewhere. Yeah. So they might pick up some of those floating guys, but still that doesn't normally, like, I don't know what's the history of those players getting you a win in the playoffs. Like, I mean, is Mike Conley making crucial plays for the Timberwolves last season in the first round? Is that one of our best buyout outcomes in recent history? Yeah. Like, the Heat stuff seems fine. Every time Pat Riley makes a trade with draft pick 7 years into the future, I make the same joke basically. What does he care? Like he's 81. They let me trade 33 draft picks. That's ridiculous. So, I mean, the Bucks haul is fine. Like you said, I'm curious about that. How much like their weird co-ownership thing, and how maybe Haslam said he pushed for, I don't know if that's real. He pushed for the Heat trade because he didn't want to get Jaylen Brown, because Jaylen Brown would then just be someone they had to trade again. I don't know if that's true or not, or what I would rather have. Oh, also, Hero has that Milwaukee connection. He's like from there or something. The Bucks team is beyond bizarre.
They're brutal. And they've got to move everybody. Like, who's going to take Miles Turner?
Are they bringing back Kevin Porter Jr.? I mean, like, I think he's a free agent, but their team.
I wonder if there isn't a way to loop in the Lakers and maybe Miles Turner winds up there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Right? I mean, there was some report that like the Lakers were interested in Khalil Ware. That's
interesting. If
I'm the Bucks, I don't know. I kind of liked Khalil Ware. It might have been too fantasy basketball pilled. Mm-hmm. So like, I don't, if his motor truly, because that was the question coming in to the draft, was about his motor. And then Spoelstra was always harping on that. I mean, I guess the Bucks did a good job. You finally get closure. The picks should be good, but like the pick situation, I do think we don't know how to judge them as much.
Right.
I do think we really saw that in the LaMelo trade. The picks that the Hornets got in the LaMelo trade, there's one unprotected pick, and then it's a lot of swaps.
Right.
And
the
like
unprotected is 2033. Like,
yeah, again, way out in the future. But like these swaps, like of course there's a chance you don't get anything.
Right.
But I do think, and maybe we'll have to have the quants and the mathematicians come up with the exact, like, how valuable it is. Part of me as a layperson feels like swaps are incredibly important, even if there's a significant chance you get quote unquote nothing out of this.
Right.
If you don't actually do the swap, like we didn't get anything. The way the lottery set up currently is where you're drawing out every single pick, as long as the team ends up in like not making the playoffs.
Those swaps are
incredible. Like that's like doubling your odds. So I do think if you say there's 3 swaps, but there's some weird protections and we might not actually get the swaps. And so you might get quote unquote nothing for the swaps. I don't know. You've basically doubled your odds of jumping in the lottery in 3 seasons. That feels huge.
Right.
So, but again, we're still trying to work out exactly what a good draft pick haul feels like in this situation. But anyways, so yeah, the Bucks are going to have who knows what. Also, the fun question for me is, will teams that don't own their own draft pick, like, they have no incentive, you'd say, to lose, but they also have no incentive to win. They have no incentive to have any good players. They have no incentive. Like, they should be like, who's your worst player? We'll take him. What will you give us to take him? Oh, I'm sorry, Adam Silver. We went 12-70. But hey, we don't have our pick. So, and like, also it makes it, we'd rather be in the relegation zone. So the team that owns our pick only gets 2 lottery balls instead of 3.
Is that how it's going to work? Right. Like, because there is some of that, right? Okay. Well, we can tank our own pick essentially.
I think if I'm a GM, my thought would be, first and foremost, I'm tanking my pick out of spite. I think.
How dare I trade you my draft pick?
Like,
for Damian Lillard.
I want to give my fan base a good time, but I also feel like I can get them on board to be like, listen, losing, we're
rooting against the Blazers.
We're rooting against us so they don't get a good pick. But then also, I'm saying I don't need, this is the whole thing. Am I paying, who's a good player on my team? Am I paying Jaime Jaquez his next contract? Am I paying Tyler Hero his next contract? Am I paying?
No, I don't think Tyler Hero is going to be there.
Like, there's no one good on the team besides that. I mean, Kyle Kuzma. I mean, like.
I don't think Kyle Kuzma should be. They basically have to do a to the studs teardown.
Yeah,
like they need to go the Wizards route.
What do you think of changing topics? What do you think of the Nets acquiring Julius Randle? And are they going to get they could build a fun league pass team? I think.
Well, I mean, they have to try to win some games. I actually think the league is shifting. All right. And you probably have heard this elsewhere. This is not like a unique idea, but we're seeing it in practice. The bottom 3, like that relegation zone, is a death sentence if you're a GM. We're going to see people get fired for being in there.
Yeah.
I believe that. And I think that we're at a point where we're going to see a redistribution of talent. And I think Julius Randle is an example of that. He's a good enough player that you're going to win some regular season games because he's on your team, right? He stays healthy most of the time, right? He can eat up innings. You need those kind of guys. He's huge. He's big. Like he actually is built to play 82 games. I think they could wind up winning like 30, 35 games just because they have Julius Randle. And if they have 4 other NBA players on the court, right? We'll see. That's always a debate with Brooklyn. But I think that's what we're seeing with them picking up like Julius Randle. Hey, we'll take him. And it's short-term money, right? Like they're not locked in.
And they got off, they did get off Nick Claxton's money. The Bulls got Nick Claxton for free. And there's a legitimate debate. Like, is that good? Because I'm curious
if Nick Claxton that we think of like 3 years ago. Yeah.
Like part of me is like, who can blame a guy?
Right.
For falling off if you're on the Brooklyn Nets the last 2 years? How do you show up to the arena? Right? Like, how do you bust your butt when they're like, we would love to lose and we're going to give you the worst teammates ever?
Yeah. And you're the guy because you're good and you're the center. You're the guy that winds up getting asked to sit a lot. Like Walker Kessler coming out and talking about that.
Yeah.
or it's come up, I guess, that he's mentioned that. I think it's a good thing. I wish more players would actually complain about that because it's got to be tough. Hey, man, like, these guys are NBA players. You don't get there by being a loser
Yeah.
or not being competitive. And what Brooklyn has done the last few years, I think, as a human being, has to be difficult to deal with. Look, I hope Nick Claxton's awesome in Chicago. I
Sure.
think Tiago Splitter's a good coach. I hope he's awesome in Chicago. And it's funny because like they got Caleb Wilson and they've got Modest Buzelis. I think he can play with both of those guys. And I don't know what that team is really going to look like. They don't have any real good guards. But if we're judging Nick Claxton based on what he's done on the court the last 2 years, he is not as good of a player as we think of him as. But
yeah,
maybe he's still a good player, and it's just Brooklyn wore him down.
it's also just one of those, like, he's like a I don't know, a C tier center, but like with a B tier salary. It's just, But who cares? If the Bulls have cap space, doesn't matter. And of course, people have connected that Tiago Splitter coached him when he was on Brooklyn, and those are some of Claxton's good years. So yeah, maybe that'll be a good bounce back. And again, it's for free. It's not a huge investment.
It's not Isaiah Stewart for free, but
I mean, I had this theory. I threw this out on Grits and Grinds, Dave. Why did the Grizzlies and Pistons swap 3 second-round picks on Tuesday, and then the next day swap those same second-round picks back? On Tuesday, did the Grizzlies not know they wanted to get Isaiah Stewart then? Did something happen on Wednesday where they're like, you know what? Here are your picks back. Now we will take Isaiah Stewart. Did Isaiah Stewart come up from when they were discussing moving up from 17 to 21? Here's my theory. Kleiman wanted to win the 24-hour news cycle by saying, I got 5 second-round picks for moving back 5 spots. I think they were like, I think Kleiman's like, listen, I can get my guy at 21. Can I give beef stew? They're like, yeah, we're done. Like, we want to move that money. And then he's like, wait a minute. Just give me 3 second-round picks to move up. And they're like, no, that's way too much. He's like, no. Give me 3 picks to move up. I will give them back to you tomorrow for Isaiah Stewart. And then they had to check the CBA. Is that allowed? Can we?
Honestly, doesn't it feel like they laundered a player?
It feels like they laundered money somehow. He's like, all right, I traded 3 picks here. Bang, I got it. So now both teams can be like, oh, yeah, they're the draft. I acquired 5 second-round picks. And the Pistons can be like, oh, I acquired 3 second-round picks. They're counting the same picks going back and forth.
It's like the AI companies and the way they count their money.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
We have invested in our AI arm. The AI arm is like, we have earned this much money.
Yeah.
It's like, we just wait. It's from your own. It's your own money.
Right.
Did you have any?
You've promised to buy $50 billion worth of my hard drives.
Yeah.
Right. You promised.
As soon as you build those hard drives, Dave, I'm going to buy them. Yeah.
But I counted as 50 billion.
I know you're not a draft guy, but as far as way
I'm not, I just don't do it all year and then I catch up.
As far as here's my overall takeaway. This was the most mock draft that has ever happened.
Yeah, it was pretty in line with all
the chalkiest, like, of the 30 guys drafted, it was like 30 of the top 32 players on NBA.com's consensus big board from everywhere. It was like the most, like, I don't even know there's anything you would call a surprise in this whole thing. Like, it was like, even, I mean, are we too good at covering the league now? Even the trade downs, everyone's like, well, the Nuggets are going to trade out. The Cavs are going to trade out. There, it happened, like.
Well, I think the money stuff is very predictable.
Yep.
Right. The financial trades are predictable. The players, man, I wonder if it's an echo chamber.
Yep.
I wonder if it's just, we are slave to the rankings coming up for these guys. And then you've got 3 or 4 or 5 kind of key draft industry people. And they sort of not set the market, but they set the table for this is what everyone's going to say.
Yep.
I don't know. I wonder if the NBA's a little bit too much of an echo chamber. But the thing is, part of it is that the skill curve, man, there's a lot of guys that are really good. I mean, there are guys that were drafted. I mean, who's the guy, Bruce Thornton, that Houston got with the 31st pick? He's going to play for them. Like, he's going to play. He's 6 foot, 220 pounds. That dude's going to be on the court this year. And so I just think maybe it's the draft is deeper, but it's also more clearly defined roles for guys. You have players getting drafted in the high lottery, like the late lottery, who know that they're role players in the NBA, and they're talking like it. And I don't think that's how it used to be.
One of the things I thought was very interesting was that the Spurs drafted 2 huge dudes.
Yeah.
Like they drafted Jaden Quaintance. I'm not sure. Yeah, the guy who was always hurt, was a shot blocker. Like
and
that's just
hurt now.
Yeah, that's a fun project. And then they also, when they traded up with the Nuggets to get their 26th pick, they drafted the guy that everyone who covers the draft. There's this like 23-year-old center from UConn, Naz Reid, who everybody's like, that is a ready-made 10-year NBA backup big, like he's just going to be in the league forever. I thought that was at least notable that this team that was on the cusp was like, let's get these super, powerful big men, one with some super high athleticism. I thought that was notable. I also feel like when you're like another team that's supposed to be competing, it doesn't feel great to try. Like if you're the Nuggets to save money, and of course you were clearly always targeting whoever you got, Trevon Brazil. But like, if the Spurs are getting the big man, it's like you probably need that big man. You don't have a backup center. You probably need that guy. Like Nuggets. What are you doing?
The Nuggets are really good at drafting. I mean, they're very good at drafting, especially like getting value out of their picks. But I mean, just take the best player. I don't get a team like that. Like you said, they need a big. They need more depth. They need athleticism.
They need lots of stuff.
Listen, the Nuggets are the Bucks, okay? And Jokic is Giannis. And I don't think he's going to drag it out if he goes to leave. But the exact same problems that plague the Bucks for the last 5 years are what's hitting the Nuggets. Lack of athleticism, the guys around him aren't good enough, and they're kind of aging out. I mean, Jamal Murray, that contract is rough. Aaron Gordon, like not being able, and again, he's hugely important to their title team, but they probably need to get a guy who can actually play because he's having a hard time staying healthy. I don't know. It feels like they're just, I don't know. It's a fumbled opportunity to not take a guy, but they're broke.
Some broke billionaires.
And maybe they need to hear it more often that they're broke, because I think what helped Minnesota make the deal for LaMelo is that when they did the salary dump, everyone just called those dudes broke the whole time. I mean, the new owners, you just bought the team.
Tom Dundon does not seem to care.
He doesn't care. But
signing Mike and Nori to the 1-year option contract.
Has Tom Dundon ever done a photo shoot where he's kissing himself in a mirror?
Yeah. Also, Dundon has announced he thinks the Portland taxpayers should pay all $600 million of the Moda Center renovations. There are like a handful of cities.
Like a rich guy.
There are a handful of cities where that politically is not going to go over. And did he know much about the city of Portland
I don't think so, man.
When he bought the team?
This ain't the Raleigh-Durham triangle, buddy. Like
this ain't Kansas City, brother. Or like this isn't the state of Indiana or Kansas coming to bail you out.
I wonder if he'll start threatening to move the team.
I unironically liked this feeling of old school NBA-ness that was the Suns trading up to get back in the first round to get an Arizona player. I like this. Koa Pete. Trading to get guys from your state, I mean, that's fun. I like the regional aspect of the sport.
It's funny because it's not Sarver anymore.
Yeah.
Which is why DeAndre Ayton was the number 1 pick.
Yeah. a lot of these guys, since it was so chalky, I think everyone is rightfully pleased. I think the fan bases are all like, "Oh, it seems good."
Thunder fans are upset, man.
Oh, in what way? They wanted to move up.
Not happy. Well, they either wanted to move up or they wanted someone to fall to them. They did not like the Mara pick.
I thought Mara and Sturts, it just makes sense. Like those guys are they're going to be backups that they need.
Sturts, I think they don't mind. I think Mara, they don't like it.
Okay.
But I think Thunder fans are just spoiled.
A little spoiled and should be a little panicky. Did not win the title. Now you got to see how much ownership is going to pay for this team.
It's expensive. I think Lou Dort's probably out.
I mean, they did move Aaron Wiggins. Aaron Wiggins has one of the best contracts in the NBA. Good job on the Hawks getting him. Yeah. I mean, the Hawks got some stuff going on. I don't know if they're draft picks. I mean, Kingston Flemings and Zuby Ejiofor, like, maybe. But getting CJ McCollum back on a 1-year deal, Mike Nori style, getting
I think Wiggins is a good pickup.
Getting the Wiggins for 2 second rounders. It's just like a free wing player that'll help every team,
especially in the East.
Yeah, there's a lot to be excited about. I think it's interesting going back now thinking about the East, where the Celtics, the big thing is they did not trade Jaylen Brown, but apparently they're going to. I don't know if this is the milk out of the carton, but I feel like a lot of the top NBA reporters saying that like this is a thing and that they've kind of wrapped their brains around it, and they feel like they need to do this thing. And is it Portland / I have a hard time seeing that work too. I don't know why Portland just doesn't want to maybe take it a little more chill. Like they get Damian Lillard back next year. That's kind of fun. I mean, isn't it? It's sort of fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it?
I think it's kind of fun.
Kind of feels out of place. Maybe what can they get for Damian Lillard from Miami?
I mean, Bobby Portis.
I don't know if Giannis wants to do that again.
Bobby Portis for Dame.
Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about the Bobby Portis.
Yeah, Bobby Portis is there. I mean, Bobby. Yeah, they need to turn. Do they still have things they can trade?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Can they trade Spo?
They need a real guard. Like Davion Mitchell was good in the playoffs, and he won a lot of us over with his tenacious playing style, but they still need a little more juice out of their backcourt. If Norm Powell and Tyler Hero are gone, you got to have.
Yeah.
Pele Larson, let's go. I think he's still there, right? He didn't get swept away in the trade.
He can play.
Yeah.
He may start, but that's not good.
Yeah, I don't know what they do. There's some talk that like Anthony Simons is going to sign like a make good minimum deal,
1 year,
which feels wild.
Once you go onto a minimum contract, it's really hard to come off it.
Yeah, once you go minimum, you can't get off of it. That's true. That's interesting. I wonder if we can find like how many guys proved their value. I mean, there's some guys in the situations where like you get injured, you know, and like then you sort of say, "I better do it." But
plenty of guys will sign a 1 year, but a 1 year minimum is different.
Yeah, a bet on myself 1 year. What's the success rate? It's hard to say. Do you have any thoughts?
Don't do that in Miami. I mean, definitely do not sign that in Miami. Sign it in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Or, the Knicks. Okay. Like you want to be playing in the deep May. Landry Shamet made a ton of money after May 1st.
How did he do that? I mean, like he really did. Man. I know, but he hit shots. That's a good example.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Shamet actually somehow did it.
Don't sign that deal with the Miami Heat because like you're just not going to get the opportunity.
The ones that jump in my head are like Gary Trent signed a minimum and somehow his body then transformed into a minimum player. He's like, well, I guess like Tyus Jones signed a minimum.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, he's going to make good. Oh, he's terrible now. He's terrible. What happened?
That's a chicken or egg scenario though, right?
It's like self-fulfilling prophecy.
It's like if Jaime Jaquez isn't the same in Miami and he's on a minimum, you know what I mean? You just say, oh yeah, it was the Heat.
So the Mavericks hired Michigan's coach, Dusty May, and then kind of maybe the one break in the draft or little surprise was they had 9. They went with Morris Johnson. Although at the watch party I was supposed to get in Nashville, the table of people I was talking with at that time, they were like, he's going to take a Michigan guy, isn't he? I'm like, yeah, I could see that. And then he did. And so now it's really funny to be like, did you really draft a Michigan guy? Like, was it a day or 2 days after hiring a coach? Did he really like, was there that synergy where they were like, no, he was number one on our board before we hired this guy.
That guy's a Messiah pick. Like, he's such a Messiah draft pick.
I didn't know if you meant the coach or the player.
No, not the coach, the player.
Yeah.
Right. He's, can't shoot, 6'9", crazy athlete, probably going to be a good defender.
Yeah. Questionable
fit with your best player. It's a perfect Messiah draft pick.
Yep. That's all I have time for today. Sorry to run and cut it short, everybody. I mean, again, what a fun week. I mean, here's how I feel. One thing that I love about the draft and the transaction, it like re-energizes all my interest in how are these players gonna fit together? Like, I'm excited to see can Dalen Swain and Nick Claxton make the Bulls fun along with Caleb Wilson and the other guys? And is the Hornets, can they survive without LaMelo? Can they actually be as good and as fun and play the same style? Will the Nets find a guard to go with their Michael Porter Jr. and Julius Randle and become a good NBA 2K team? All this is fun, so I'm excited about it. Can the Grizzlies pummel everyone to a pulp?
Oh, we didn't even talk about the Grizzlies. All right.
Yeah.
I love how the Grizzlies look right now.
Yes.
They are huge.
Yes.
They are going to be amazing on the glass.
Yes.
And if Boozer can run an offense as a rookie,
yeah,
not bad.
They are one athletic all-star point guard away.
Yeah.
From being trouble in the West.
Hey, what if?
What if they had a great table setting, dynamic slashing point guard?
That would be the best story of the NBA next season if just they say, hey, you know what? We can't find it. Nobody wants to.
Man, all my texts and mentions and social media feeds are like, oh, the Hornets, maybe that could be a Ja team now. It's like, how can you go from LaMelo to Ja? Like, that's not, no. Yeah, he's a man without a country. But no,
Grizzlies should go and try to make it work. I don't know.
Having Boozer and Edie with Isaiah Stewart as the backup fills me with joy. And Cedric Coward is an outrageous rebounder for his position too.
Yeah.
He's not bulky and big, but I want Cedric at the 2. Who's the 3 I can get that's who's the most muscular 3 we can get? Is it just Boozer playing up at the 3? I don't think Boozer.
You can have Boozer at the 3.
I mean, I don't think he can guard the 3, but we'll see. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what's the beefiest team.
Franz Wagner at the 3 would be pretty sick.
Anthony Mason?
Oh, I mean, now you're going way back.
I'm trying to think.
I like what they're doing. I do like it. We'll see if they have enough guard play, but I like how huge they are.
Yep. At the very least, it should be fun. Anyways, thanks everybody for hanging out. If you want more from us, patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. You guys are the best. Thanks for listening. And remember, breakfast is the most important thing.
Yeah, never apologize for being G&G. Fast break, man. You understand?
I will remember.